dawgy. Yeah, I could very much get used to this. Jays win 11-1 in the first of a 4-game set against the Baltimore Orioles at the Sky Dome. Oh, I do miss playing this team. Boy, they're an awful lot of fun to play against. Everyone in the lineup had at least one hit and at least one run. 3 hits apiece for Vlad and Teo and Lourdes, oh my. Everyone else had 2 hits, the lone exceptions being Kevin Biggio, who only had an RBI triple and a walk, oh well. And Alejandro Kirk, who went 1 for 5 with an RBI single, and he's the hottest hitter on the team. And listen, I love seeing Vladdy dongs as much as the next guy, and I can't get enough of Bo lashing the ball from foul line to foul line, but Alek Manoah, I think, is probably my favorite player on this team. So watching this guy absolutely deal against a hapless opponent who had no answer for him whatsoever, oh, I could watch it all day. He's got everything. You want strikeouts? He's got it. You want control? He's got it. You want him to be able to visibly outthink opponents and try to figure out how he's going to get you out in real time? You can do that too. He fields his position. He bails out his teammates when they make errors. He clutches up for big pitches and big moments. Guy's a superstar and soon to be an all-star. And at this rate, the all-star game starter. McClanahan's giving him a run, but I wouldn't bet against Alec in this scenario. Plus, he's got an amazing nickname. Big Puma? That's top tier, baby. Yes, this was as complete a win as you're likely to find in any Major League Baseball season. The Blue Jays utterly dominated this one from beginning to end. Culminating in a 5th inning flurry where they batted around. George Springer was the first and third out in that inning, which is hilarious to me. This was one for the books. And it's pretty hard to find any negatives in an 11-1 crushing of a division rival, but I'm going to try. First off, Julian Merryweather came in, gave up the only run, and then got hurt, looking entirely hittable the entire time. I don't know about Merryweather, man. I mean, if I hadn't seen that brief flash in the pan at the beginning of last year where he utterly dominated the first couple of appearances and looked unhittable during that time, if I hadn't seen that, I would look at his results since then, and I would look at his injury history, and I would just say, man, the guy's just a big fastball and nothing else. And in 2022, that is simply not good enough. Maybe in the 80s or something, a guy humping it up to 100 was good enough, but not anymore. Aroldis Chapman was the best closer in baseball for a little while, mostly on the back of just humping it up to 100 miles an hour. But he's a lefty and kind of throws kind of like slinging it from the side there. Creates a very uncomfortable angle for especially left-handed hitters. I could see how that would, maybe be enough. But Julian's got that classic 3-4 over-the-top right-handed release point that every pitcher has, and it's 100 miles an hour coming straight in at you. It's fooling nobody. And you never want to wish misfortune on anybody, and especially, I'm sure he's a very nice man. But him going out just about the same time as Tim Mayza comes back, that's a step forward. That's a plus. So get well soon, Julian, and maybe figure out how to make your fastball move a little bit while you're at it. That would be great. All that's left really are quibbles, because when you win 11-1, quibbles is pretty much all that's left to complain about. But here we go. I think of myself as a guy who cleaves more towards process-based analysis rather than results-based analysis. Or at least that's what I tell myself, so as to prevent myself from saying, he hit the ball real good! I still do say that quite a bit in retrospect. Man. Anyway, Raimel Tapia had a 2-run single in this one. It was a pitch above his eyes, and he still managed to hit it in the ground. That's almost impressive. But the ground ball happened to split the infielders right up the middle, resulting in 2 runs. That's nice and all, but man, first of all, what were you doing swinging in that pitch? Second of all, how did you still manage to hit it into the ground? Vladdy had 3 hits in this one. That's good. The home run was very, very good. But the 2 singles, in air quotes, really were just ground balls to shortstop. The first one was while the infield was in, so if the infield was at regular depth, that turns into at least 1 run, maybe 2, but because the infield was in, it got smashed right by him and into left field for a single. Again, normal process-based analysis, that's a double play ball, Vlad. You've hit a lot of those recently. The second one was a bit more up the middle, but still able to be played on a great play by Mateo, the shortstop. He shoveled to second base, and if Odor hadn't messed that one up egregiously, there would have been an out there, so Vlad wouldn't have gotten very much of anything at all. Instead, somehow the official scorer called it an RBI single. That was a bit dodgy. Pad those stats, Vlad. But yeah, what looks like a 3-hit day with 3 runs batted in really was a very nice home run, which was especially nice because he had to go down and get it. This was the launch angle we're looking for, Vlad. You basically had to break out the 3-wood and like get down and lift that ball right out of here. And it hit the second deck, man. You do that, good things happen. But the 2 singles were just ground balls, and you've been hitting all too many of those recently. And same thing with Tapia. This is a guy who we're begging, pleading for a guy to get underneath the baseball from time to time, because when he does, it goes a million miles. Today, both those guys got rewarded for bad processes of hitting balls into the ground. And I don't think that they've learned any lessons from that, but today maybe wasn't as rosy for those guys as it might have appeared. On the other end of the spectrum, both Teo and Lourdes were full value for their 3 hits today. Boy, if those guys are getting going, Teo is going, but if Lourdes starts getting going, look out. Lourdes has had a couple of fits and starts where he's had good games or a couple good games in a row and then he's faded back. So I'm not quite yet at the point where I want to say, yeah, he's coming on. But yeah, today was real encouraging. Teo, on the other hand, he's back. He's going. Hitting the ball the other way with authority, tracking the ball, letting it travel really, really well. Yeah, he's ready to bust out. But yeah, 11-1. Pretty good. Pretty fun. I could watch it a lot. I should also mention this one. I remarked to myself early on, man, George's looking pretty good. That double that he hit, he was absolutely zoned in on it. He's starting to get going too. He never really wasn't not going, you know what I mean? Like he's always been kind of at least doing pretty good. But if he gets hot, we saw last year what happens when Springer goes nuclear. The team wins every single day. So yeah, that's enticing. All of this, very enticing. And I hope they save some offense for tomorrow night because they might need it, because it's resident coin flip Yusei Kikuchi on the mound for the Jays against the Orioles. And the Orioles aren't good or anything, but Kikuchi can make bad teams look real good, as we saw last time against Kansas City. So the Blue Jays might need to outscore some problems in this one. Hopefully they can. It's like Jordan Lyles, I think, is going for the Orioles. That name does not really make me afraid, you know what I mean? This is the kind of performance that we've been waiting for the Blue Jays to put up. They put up the first one against Detroit. Now here's another one against Baltimore. The first time they do it against an air quotes real team or good team, I think then everyone will be all the way back on board with this club. But it's nice to see the signs of life. It's nice to see them absolutely dunking on bad teams the way we imagine that they should. Good times, man. Good times. Plus, watching guys hit the baseball when they're wearing our team's colors, I could watch that all the time. I don't care who they're playing against. This is great. That's all I have for you for this one. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for watching this channel. Like and subscribe if you are so inclined. I will see you tomorrow for the coin flip against the tire fire. They should put that in the marquee, right? I feel like that's the most accurate description of what tomorrow's going to be. Anyway, I'll see you then.